Coming up next on The Spot, the PSP is launched and the countdown is on to E3 2005. To help you get ready for that convention of madness, we're pleased to welcome not one but two special guests into the studio. Double Fine Productions' Tim Schafer returns to talk some more about Psychonauts, and Midway's Zach Wood will demo that alien-laden shoot-fest Area 51. Some lucky viewers will win copies of both games, plus we'll show you how you can surf the web using your PSP. As a wise man once said, goggles down! And welcome to On The Spot. So everyone, we have a very crazy show for you in store. We have not one, but two very special guests. And our very first special guest is already here on the studio. Big reveal. And it's Zach Wood. How's it going, Zach?
Not too bad. How are you?
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming by. You just flew here just a moment ago from...
Just flew in from Austin, Texas.
And what'd you bring with you?
Area 51.
Very cool. Area 51, for those of you who don't know, is a very, can I say kick-ass on the show?
Yes,
it is
totally
a kick-ass shooter where you get to wait. You're a hazmat man named Ethan Cole. You get to run through all these corridors and just take down aliens, turn into a mutant, all kinds of crazy stuff. And Zach's going to be showing off for us in just a moment. Also today, Tim Schafer is back with Psychonauts, which is cool. He was here on the show before, a lot of fun. And our man Kirk Collins is going to show you how to surf the web using your PSP. But as always, GameSpot Complete members, the show wouldn't be the same without you. So using the form below us right now on the page, send in your questions. You'll hear them live on the show. We'll ask Zach, we'll ask Tim, we'll ask Ryan, we'll ask me. We'll ask everyone who's around your questions. If you don't see a form at the bottom of the On The Spot page right now, that means you're not a GameSpot Complete member. And if you're trying to enter a contest later on, by the way, don't go to special features discussion because that is for special features. You know, you go to
that's the forums, right?
You see like the discuss it now or whatever button. If you hit on that, that takes you to the forums to talk about it. You don't enter the competitions there. Everyone knows that. Anyways, Ryan, take it away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What do you want me to take away? I got a bunch of questions for people. Should we start off the show with questions?
You want to start off with questions, or Zach, you want to do the demo first? What are you feeling there?
Anything you guys
I think we should take a look at the game.
All right, fine. Let's get right into the game.
Let's do it.
Zach, fire this up, shall you?
So this is basically how the game begins. You're sent in with a team of 4 into Area 51, and you're a hazmat specialist, and you're in there to investigate some kind of biochemical outbreak. So we take you here into this first area, which is kind of like a training area.
Actually, before you get to that, I am going to ask you a couple questions, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So the one question we got is from John Latoro from New York. He wants to know, how does the alien mutant from the main character work? How does it tie into the game?
Okay, so about, I don't know, halfway through the game, your character actually gets infected with this virus that's mutating everybody at the base, and you sort of become an alien. But with the help of this doctor, Dr. Cray, you can use the alien abilities as a weapon.
Gotcha.
So you get 3 major attacks. You get this melee attack, which is really powerful. Uses our ragdoll system. You can knock people across the room. You get this parasite attack, which you shoot these like parasites out of your hands, and it flies through the world, and you can siphon health back. Wow. And then you get this really cool contagion ability, which you infect someone else, and then that enemy fights for you for a short period of time, which is really cool. You get in this environment, and you see like a bunch of enemies in your room, you infect somebody, and then you just see this fight break out, and you just kind of like watch it happen. It's pretty cool.
Now, for the folks that don't know at home, what is Area 51 all about? Obviously, military base, right, and all that. Do you want to explain to the folks at home a little bit of the history of the series?
Yeah, I mean the game, you know, it started off as an arcade shooter long ago, and you know, we just kind of took a look at some of our classic arcade games and thought, you know, wow, we could really do something cool with Area 51. It's just this world that has so many secrets and mysteries and rumors that we could just really have a lot of fun with it. So, you know, it just made a lot of sense to make it a first-person shooter, really immerse the players into the game, and it's just been a long, really exciting journey.
Right on.
Speaking of immersion in the game, I think we're ready. We ready? Let's hop right into it, shall we?
Let's check it out.
Thanks a lot.
So right here, I'm just picking up a weapon for the first time, and you know what we do here is we just try to like get you.
Step on over to the range and fire off a few shots. Make your mommy proud.
Well, we're trying to like show off the characters, and we're trying to establish a sense of camaraderie between you and your teammates.
Just a little, just like a little training action.
Yeah, just a little shooting gallery. He's actually challenging me to a shooting right now. Just kind of like having a little fun. Crispy, yeah. Crispy's kind of the smart ass.
You gotta be a smart ass if your nickname's Crispy.
Exactly, exactly.
So at this point in the storyline, what's happened so far?
Cool, buddy.
So you don't really know a whole lot. I mean, you.
A little shooting contest.
He's just telling me let's go for a little go here. You basically just are on what you think is a routine mission. You and your buddies have done this a million times before. You just go in and there's been some kind of like chemical breach. You go in there, you investigate it, you clean it up and get out. And that's so far what you think's going on here. There's a team that was sent in before you that's been lost, and you're just trying to find them too. So this area here is just, you can blow right through this if you want and go ahead and start the mission, but there's a lot of little side areas where you can kind of learn more about what's going on. Like here you can kind of listen to some scientists that are talking to a base commander about, wow, we found some dead bodies, there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
A lot of ambient.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the environment just to experience. It's really kind of a rich world. So if you want to take the time, it's there for you.
Right on.
Yeah, too easy.
Now, while you're walking around here, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one comes from E.G. Croce from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He wants to know, will Area 51 feature co-op, and will there be online support?
Online support, absolutely. Yeah, we're supporting 16 players on both Xbox and PS2.
You guys had some famous designers working on some of those levels and
yeah,
stuff,
actually,
right?
John Romero and Tom Hall helped us out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Some guys right there.
Yeah, they've been around the block a few times.
Oh, they know some first-person shooters, right?
Yeah.
And so, right now, you and your crew are going to go stomping off, just kind of checking out stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of start you off slow. You kind of explore the world, hear some of, the secrets of what some people think are going on there, and just kind of, bond with your buddies and just kind of talk back and forth. And we actually use your teammates as sort of like a viable way to tell some of the story. So, about a first quarter of the game, they're experiencing all the weirdness with you. Mm-hmm. And so they respond to things that they see in the world. Like, back in here, we're just suiting up now, and they see some weird stuff. Like, you got some alien stuff in these canisters here. There's something weird going on back here, and I can't tell really what it is. This guy's saying, you're not authorized to be there, but there's some weird stuff going on. So your buddies kind of talk about it, and sort of that's kind of how we kind of use it as a storytelling mechanism early on. It's like you kind of experiencing this together as a group.
Gotcha.
And then later on, you'll meet different characters that sort of reveal certain plot points and things like that. So
how far do you guys take it? How far do you guys build the atmosphere before you just throw a bunch of aliens at people?
Well, pretty much this first level is just
wow.
I got this little scanning device here that I can use to kind of scan objects and gain more information. We actually have this collection system of lore, so there's a number of scannable objects in the world in every level, and you can pop out to the main menu and kind of see videos and read documents and see photographs. A lot of because there's so much mystery and speculation about what goes on there. And throughout all the research that we did, we wanted to kind of add in as much of it as possible. It's just interesting back information, stuff that we kind of made up that we think's going on, and things like that.
I saw, I think, one of the trailers that we have for this game on the site. There's a really quick, funny shot where I think you're coming down an elevator or something, and then right in front of you, it's the surface of the moon with an astronaut standing there and the flag and the Earth in the background. Now, is that something you made up, or is that actually in Area 51? Do you know?
Oh, we think it's there. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you point that particular thing out, because it was definitely a challenge for us to balance sort of the humor and the gore, the humor and the horror. We think we did a pretty effective job, by not sort of hitting the player over the head with something like, ha, that's funny, but just kind of clever, well, that's interesting, or just kind of you get a chuckle out of things that you see. And then on the horror side, we're not trying to be a Resident Evil or like a Silent Hill. It's more about just context. You're in this world, things are happening to you. It's really weird. Creatures will come out of the darkness and scare you once in a while. But we're not trying to go for the over the top. We're trying to set it in realism as much as possible.
So we're not going to see Alf come running around the corner with a ray gun?
Nah, we left Alf out. Yeah.
Did you guys, just out of curiosity, just for fun ask if you could go to Area 51? Did you guys call the government up?
What's interesting about that is the team and I are planning a trip out there. We're gonna go and see. We're gonna see how far we can get. Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely,
awesome.
totally.
That's great.
Yeah,
really?
absolutely.
I would love to come and bring a camera.
Next month we're gonna do it.
One shot.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go. That's in Art Bell all the time, And
so this is just basically your commander just said there's an unauthorized agent that infiltrated the area here. He's just saying, hey, track this guy down. So it's kind of like your first sort of combat. We introduce you to the crouch and the different controls, the jump, the lean.
So as first-person shooters go, are we fairly traditional with Area 51, or do you guys do anything crazy, or?
Well, we made it a point early on that we didn't want to sort of reinvent the wheel. I mean, you know, a lot of problems in first-person shooters have been solved. You know, the control scheme, the way that the analog sticks behave, and the sensitivity of the controller, the sticky targeting. Those are all things.
It's awesome.
Oh, thanks a lot. So yeah, I mean, we wanted to keep sort of core elements very tried and true to the genre, because you know there are fans of first-person shooters that have a certain expectation. But we wanted to spend our resources elsewhere, like, you know, cool alien technology weapons and cool enemies that are really different, and you know, characters that are really interesting. Our technology really was designed for the console, which we think is outstanding. Just the sheer amount of geometry and texture detail in our game and particles is pretty outstanding. So that's kind of where we spent our time.
That's awesome. Now I got another question here for you. This comes from Taylor Parks, California. And that's Taylor Parks as in the person. What were some of your greatest inspirations for Area 51, gameplay and story-wise?
Wow, there's so much. I mean, you know, when we were going through pre-production, there was just, you know, we read all the books and magazines and documentaries and TV specials on, you know, various history channels and things like that. So there's a wealth of information, and we sort of took some of the most common themes and the common rumors and kind of wove them into the story as much as we could, you know. But the main thread is that, you know, the biggest rumor is what? It's that there are gray aliens there, right? And the government's working with them, and they have a pact, and they're sharing technologies and things like that. So that's a big theme in our game, that we're actually, you know, saying, yeah, absolutely, and that's real, and that's going on. So, so yeah, I mean, we're sort of drawing from a lot of different areas.
Now, what does the online component have involved in it? You were talking about some of the players that you can have. Like, what are some of the game types and stuff?
Okay, so we do the standard popular modes like deathmatch and team deathmatch, capture the flag, capture and hold, which is kind of like Battlefield, where you capture certain areas of maps, and it's pretty cool because in our levels they sort of change dynamically. So you capture an area, and you're like the green team, and that whole area turns green and lights up, and in real time. It's actually really cool. And then we have a new mode called Infection, which is sort of rooted more in our fiction, which is the game selects one character to become a mutant, and everybody else is a human. And that mutant is trying to infect all the humans. So and the points ramp. So if you're the last human standing and you're killing off mutants, you're getting more points.
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool.
Sounds intense.
That does sound. That sounds.
Another thing about our multiplayer too is we actually have scalable map sizes.
Oh.
So all the maps are built to be 16 players, right? But if you're only playing with like 4 people, the game will close off certain areas and put force fields and close off rooms to make it more an intense 4-player game.
Nice.
And people join in, those rooms start opening up.
That's cool.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're actually really excited about it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's way better than, you know, getting on a big map and then have to go hunt for people to
Yeah,
find.
exactly.
You know,
No. We want to keep the action tried and true. And you know, when you play our game online, it's very fast and furious. Almost a throwback to the old, you know, shooters that, you know, kind of started the genre, which was definitely an intention of ours.
So it looks like by the loading screen, you guys are going deep underground.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we kind of start you off slow, like I was saying before, you know, a little exploration, kind of figure out what's going on. And then, you know, in this area here, it's basically the team going down into the base and kind of what they're seeing, and sort of, you know, it's nothing like what they expected it to be. And that's this little cutscene here. Now, David Duchovny plays the main character, Ethan Cole, and we sort of made a creative choice early on that we didn't want the main player character to speak in the game.
Okay.
Just because we think it's more immersive to actually be the character and not hear yourself speak all the time. So we use David Duchovny's voice in cutscenes and in loading screens. We have like a slideshow in between levels that sort of explains what the character is seeing, what he's experiencing, what he's going through, especially when he gets infected. He kind of talks about the mutation, how it's affecting him. And David Duchovny's voice really kind of lends itself well to that sort of like, you know, inner thoughts.
Yeah, he sounds like a great inner monologue voice.
Yeah,
I definitely
absolutely.
mind having David Duchovny talking to me in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, David Duchovny,
That'd be great. But he's not the only celebrity voice actor in the game.
No, we actually got Powers Booth from Deadwood, who plays Major Bridges, so he's your base commander. And then Marilyn Manson, who plays an alien in our game, which is pretty fitting, I think.
That's awesome.
It was funny because he told us that he was excited because he would be playing an alien. He's like, you know, it seems like the main character has a general distaste for mankind. I can share those feelings.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
That's
it worked
great.
out.
And Powers Booth, he's you might know him from Tombstone.
Red Dawn.
But he's the main bad guy in Tombstone, and I think he's in Sin City.
Oh yeah, he's in all kinds.
That's right. Yeah, he's awesome. Powers Booth is great.
He's another great voice.
Excellent.
U-Turn. He was in U-Turn as well.
Oh yeah? He's in all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that sneaks up on you. All right, so what's going on here?
So this part here is just your first sort of squad combat. So about the first quarter of the game is with your squad, with your buddies, and it kind of shows off our squad AI. So they'll take cover. They'll cover for you. They'll point out enemies that are showing up in the world and kind of point out locations and things like that.
So these are all mutated people you're fighting right now?
Yeah,
or
I mean, these
but you don't know that yet, or
work there?
Oh, okay.
No, you don't know that yet. You
Right.
you just think, man, you know, these are some kind of alien creatures. You know, you're not even sure.
I got a question here, if you don't mind me.
Yeah.
This comes from Michael Salmon in New Jersey. He wants to know, did you specifically ask David Duchovny, because of his experience with X-Files, to come and do this project?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, it kind of made sense. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we had our wish list, and he was at the top, and we were lucky enough to get him. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is actually a good question. This is from Dan McCoy. Dan wants to know, what happens when there are 16 players and some leave? Are you outside of the downward scalable zones? Are you stuck? Do you warp back into the action areas?
No, basically what happens is the room, if you're in a room that's going to get zoned out, it starts flashing red, and the internal system intercom says, please leave immediately, please leave in danger. And if you don't get out there with a certain amount of time, then you'll die.
Oh, wow. That's perfect. Yeah,
so it warns you that it's going to
perfectly.
happen.
I know.
Makes sense.
And the lighting's awesome, by the way.
Thanks a lot.
Now, we should make sure everyone knows that right now, have we told them we're playing the PlayStation 2 version?
I don't know that you
Yeah, this is the PlayStation 2 version. Like right now, the graphics are pretty sharp, but...
So this is where you actually see somebody mutate in front of you for the first time.
Way to ruin it.
Just walking you through it, man.
Is that Brent Spiner from Independence Day?
Yeah.
Oh, no it isn't.
You know who was the voice of this, actually, is John Vernon from Animal House.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Which one is John Vernon again?
He just did the voice of the scientist.
No, I mean, which one in Animal House?
Forget the character's name, actually.
Was he the guy on the motorcycle with the helmet?
No, the wheelchair? I'm drawing a blank.
Been a while.
We'll find out after the show. We'll let you know.
So he mutated into
an alien. Yeah.
No contact.
Now, I hate to ask, but now I know. Do you have the capabilities of maybe jumping ahead to some really severe firefight, possibly?
Yeah.
Great, cool. We'll fire that up.
Actually, what I'll do is I'll show you some of the more alien levels. You know,
nice.
One of the things about our game that I think makes it unique is that not only does the gameplay change throughout the course of the experience, but the environment and the art and how it looks and feels is quite different too. So the areas that I was just showing you there are sort of like the more military standard, kind of what you expect Area 51 to be like on the top surface, right?
Right.
But the further down you go, the more alien it becomes, and you start seeing alien technology, and you start to see a blend of the military and alien kind of working together, and like, wow, maybe stuff really is going on here. But way down, there's like an alien colony that was built way down below the base.
Oh, wow.
And that environment's just completely, you feel like you're in a totally different world.
Really?
Yeah. So.
I mean, there's some really creepy stuff in all the footage we have on the site right now. I definitely recommend everyone checking it out after the show. Not right now, obviously, but after the show. And that I got it. No worries. The tag team.
Tag team.
There's some great footage where you just see like all these little grays running around together, like working together, like running the machines, or like they're all standing behind a window, all watching at you. Yeah,
the grays are interesting. We kind of made another creative choice with the grays, that we didn't want them to sort of be in-your-face combat. Mm-hmm. The grays, we wanted them just to appear more intelligent, and like they use their environment against you, they use their technology against you, and they sort of they have this like a security force, these black ops that they create. Some of them can cloak, but they can actually create them out of these orbs that they throw into the world against you and stuff. So it's just pretty cool.
Very cool.
I got a couple more questions here.
Absolutely.
We're getting so many great questions.
There's a lot of good questions.
Keep them coming.
There's one the guy's asking about Marilyn Manson. I bet you he was on your list too. So I'll answer that question for you. How many different types of enemies are there in the game?
I've never counted.
Yeah.
I think there's about 8 different
types?
enemies. Yeah.
And this guy's talking about some of the weapons. Is there any weapon in particular that you're particularly fond of?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, if I can get back into the game here, I'll show it to you.
Right on.
There's an alien tech weapon called a Mason cannon, which is this really cool. It's a single-shot weapon. It's kind of like our Uber weapon in the game, and it shoots off a Mason charge energy ball into the world. And it sticks to world geometry. So say you had enemies that were far off in the distance in a room and you shot it in the ceiling above them, it would shoot out like four or five alien tendrils that'll attach to all of them at once, and it just shakes them and just totally destroys them. It's really, really cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Can you show us, or?
I believe, let's see here.
In the data bank there, I saw you have a data bank and some secrets, so there's a lot of stuff to unlock in the game?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We have some little bios of the squad members that you start the game with, and also all the lore are collectible throughout the game. So a lot of like the documents, like I was saying, the videos. There's secret diaries of Dr. Cray. There's secret diaries of Mr. White, who's an Illuminati character that you meet later in the game. So yeah.
Very cool.
And the point that you're going to show us right now is at which is when you first.
Actually, this is. Hold on a second here. This is about halfway through.
Nice.
You become mutated at this point. Hold on a second here.
Getting your settings set up there.
Yeah.
Everyone needs the settings.
I can't play with an inverted y-axis.
You should be like, I need this to be this way. You
I
just
know.
It default.
These aren't my settings, man. I know.
You got that power.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
So, and this is another weapon I can kind of show off here when I'm in a room with no combat, is a BBG. And if you notice, it kind of bounces off geometry, and it'll bounce up to 3 times. So you can use it to sort of attack enemies that are maybe hiding behind cover. And the secondary fire of this weapon is actually a laser sighter that will show the trajectory of where it's going to go.
Nice.
And you see it actually follows the stream. And it's energy based, so you see like the number there, it's kind of decreasing over time, and then you let it recharge. And actually, if you're using the laser, it takes more of the energy out of it.
I gotcha.
So that's one of the alien weapons. And this is the Mason
Ooh.
cannon. So let's.
This is the one you like.
This is the one I.
You can tell that one's good because it's all blue and glowy.
Actually,
and
this is
everything.
not a good area for it. So let me. And these are cloaking Black Ops. So if I mutate now,
whoa.
I can see them. I'm using parasites. Whoop.
Yeah.
Come on, open the door, buddy.
I think you might have been.
Come
Might
on.
have hit the up button. Oh, there you
go. I actually want to go.
So you got your mutant vision on right here.
Yeah. And so you can see I got more health out of those guys now.
What was the business coming out of his hands?
Those are parasites.
Oh.
Those are what I was talking about, where they're actually homing too, and they'll siphon health back to you. It's pretty tactical. Later on in the game, it's really important to use because a lot of your enemies cloak like that, and it's really hard to see them if you're not mutated, and also gaining health back. So you can go back and forth. You actually have a mutation meter at the bottom of the screen, and once it depletes, then you're back to human form.
Gotcha.
But you can get more mutation power by using a melee attack. So that's why there's kind of a balance between like projectile and melee attack.
Those guys are just kind of walking around as like little health bars. If you can take them out real good.
Yeah.
I guess
Actually,
the trick
this is this dude here. Here, I'm gonna actually switch this weapon so I can show it to you.
I was about to say, can you show us the big bit? Yeah.
So let them have it.
Oh, I missed. One shot and they missed. Ladies and gentlemen.
It fired really well though. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's cool. We got a couple more questions here, and then we will be sure to bring you back, obviously, after Mr. Tim Schafer.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Adrian Smith from Ottawa. What did I just say? Ottawa, Ontario. Damn Canadians. Are there any major differences between the PS2 and Xbox versions?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of mostly in visual quality. I mean, on the Xbox, we're taking advantage of like per pixel lighting. Our shadows are a little smoother. We're using higher resolution textures. But essentially, they're virtually the same game.
Cool. And by damn Canadians, I meant the hockey team, by the way. Not the people. I'm a Bruins fan. All right. Dan McCoy from Rhode Island. There you go. That's more of my territory. Wait, we already asked that one.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Why you got to get ahead of me?
I
Like that?
don't know.
Questions?
I'm good like that.
Okay, cool. Do you have one last level you want to show us here, Zach? I see you called up something.
Yeah, I'm actually, this is an
really
alien
cool.
base level. Just want to kind of show off how the game really changes into something totally different. We're especially proud of this
That's
level.
the shot that I'm
Yeah,
talking
this is the
about
one you're
right
talking
there.
about,
Oh, when he
right?
walks out.
Oh, look at all of them.
They actually track you. If I move left to right, they're actually watching me the entire time.
Yeah, they're not fooling them.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Are they behind a glass,
we see
or can you like open
no,
up?
you can't.
on
You
them?
can't.
Okay.
You
They're
can't,
just there to
you
just
can't get
totally
some.
give you the
Gotcha.
willies.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How much of the game do you think is atmosphere like that? You guys seem to have a lot of triggers that'll.
Yeah, I mean, that was, one of the goals is just kind of like make the environments as living and as interactive as possible,
Oh, wow.
It really just kind of brings you into the game.
Great. So when can we expect to see Area 51 on store
Be on the
shelves?
shelves April 25th.
That long?
Yeah,
It's done
what's
right
3
now.
weeks
You're
away?
playing this game. It's done right now.
We got to make the discs,
Oh,
the packaging,
okay,
you know.
the packaging.
Gotcha.
You have to take your field trip to Area 51.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Which I'm coming to now.
excited. Absolutely,
Right on.
you're invited.
I'm bringing the
I'll hold you
camera.
to it.
You can have fun at it.
That'd be awesome. Well, we're gonna see what else we got next, but we're gonna have you back
Sounds
on.
good.
answer
Yeah,
more
yourself.
questions.
Sounds
So
good.
great.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Zach. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Keep sending in those questions to Area 51, and we'll answer them later. We're gonna let Zach walk off the camera right now. That's cool. Thanks, dude. It's all right. He doesn't know. He's new to the show. Yeah. But we'll bring Zach back soon, even though he just did that. But coming up next, we have Tim Schafer, Double Fine Productions, Psychonauts. We had him on before. It's a
Yes,
great
sir.
show. We want to bring him back.
Yes, sir.
And earlier this week, they had the launch party for the game of Psychonauts, and
You
our
went
cameras
there?
were there. Yeah, I was there. Sure.
Yeah, you were there.
I was there. And we got to interview a whole bunch of people that worked on the game or, say, were Tim Schafer's parents.
What?
Exactly. Check it out. Here's the clip.
Well, we have the advantage of Tim Schafer, where everyone respects his opinion, and he's done some really good stuff, so everyone, knows that he's going to do some funny, creative, like epic character development and storylines and stuff.
It is cool to work on something that has it's coming from more of like an artistic background. Like we have a lot of great artists over there and a lot of creative people.
Well, the thing that made it attractive to us was Tim Schafer. We were big fans of Tim Schafer's past games. We saw in him the incredible genius of his talent, and we heard the opportunity was available. We called CAA, we pursued it, and we were able to secure the rights to the game and eventually work with Tim and his team. And we're just overjoyed because it's just been a pleasure to work with him.
When he was in college, we told him not to fool around with games and things, programming serious stuff like data banks and stuff like that. Luckily, when he got out and looked at LucasArts, they were looking for somebody who liked to write stories. And I know they asked him if he'd been working with games. He said, no, my father told me not to play around with that stuff. But luckily, he didn't listen to me completely.
It's been a really cool process because, because everyone trusts him as like kind of this crazy mind that like whatever, let Tim and his crazy group do his deal because we know it's going to be good eventually. It's been awesome because then we kind of like are left to kind of do anything we want to do and try it out. So like we all can just excite each other,
There's definitely a lot of freedom, because we can make our own choices. So we can if there's something that we want to do that may be like a more corporate, executives higher up, they might be kind of like, well, other people aren't doing that. But we have the freedom to say, no, we want to do this. And because we like it.
Our perspective of an independent developer is to work with and nurture the talent that an independent developer can have. I come from the old days in the video game business back in the early 80s, where people like me at Activision in 1981, 1982 were treated special. I mean, we were the guys who created the products, we were the guys who created the IPs, and we at Majesco feel that the talent today is the guys like Tim Schafer who create the properties that we can take and sell. And we saw in him, we saw in that company, the value of not just Psychonauts, but Tim Schafer, the incredible talent that could create that plus more products. So we're very happy to take and help nurture that talent and help bring that talent to the market, as we'd like to do with other independent developers as we find along the way.
And we are back, and we have traded Zach in for Tim Schafer. Tim, welcome back to the set.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey,
man? Good to see you.
Thanks for having me
Thanks for
back.
coming by. That was just at the rap party a couple days ago here in the city of San Francisco.
Yeah, my voice is still shot, so if I squeak, then just bear with me.
Are you relaxed now? Are you totally mellow? You're done making the game, or?
We are done, except for all the things we have to do. A couple of the versions are done, and the last one is getting there, and I'm done. Let's put it that way. I'm purposely staying out of everyone's way who is finishing it up, because I'm done putting stuff into it, and it's just the last couple of things.
And we just heard from some of the people who are working on it. Scott Campbell is one of them.
Art director.
He's the art director. Yeah. Now, Scott, he also does one of those comic strips we talked about last time we were on here.
The Double Fine Action News on our website. Yeah, he does he did the first Double Fine Action comics that we ever did. Yeah, and that style of drawing that he did. I remember before we hired Scott, I saw that at one of his art shows, because he used to work at one of the Lucas companies that I worked at, and so I saw that art style on kind of a cartoon style, and I was like, I would love to see a game that looked like that, and that's and people were like, well, how will that translate into 3D? And I think now that Psychonauts is done, people can see that you can actually make that style into a whole 3D world of those kind of drawings come to life, and those little cartoony people running around and doing action and talking and everything.
And some of that are also made it onto the box art for the game too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on there.
Yeah, and Scott did that box himself.
Very nice. Very cool.
So your parents proud?
My parents, I hope so. Yeah, they I'm not a doctor, which I'm sure Dad.
He said that actually. Yeah.
Did he really?
He said no. We didn't. That didn't make the final cut of the interview. But he said he's like, oh, he didn't. I know he wasn't going to follow me into the medical industry, but or medical profession.
Well, they although they never came out and said, I think, what they wanted me to do, it was mysterious how video game consoles would show up at our house at very important, pivotal times in my life. We had an Odyssey, not just Odyssey 2, but the Odyssey 1 showed up at our house, and we were like, what is that thing? It plays Pong and other games that look like Pong but have these little plastic overlays that go on the screen. You've seen that? And I was like, I love this thing, and I want more and more of these little memory carts instead of cartridges. And then Dad said, no, we're not going to buy any more. And I was like, why? Why can't we have more? He said, because we're buying one of these new video computer systems, the Atari video computer system. And I was like, oh my God. And then, Pong and Tank Pong and Tank and Combat. And then helped me buy my first Atari 400 and drove me down to get my first 48K memory add-on card, So he had parents had a big influence on me going. They didn't know there was an industry for me to go into, so I don't know what they're pushing for. But
now, speaking of your parents, I hope you don't mind. Your mother also said on camera that they both complimented you on your ability to tell stories, and your mother said that one of the first stories you wrote, I think it was at Berkeley, she said, you have not let her read, and this sounds very mysterious. Do you know the story? Can you talk about it? Is she watching?
Well, it wasn't. What it really was, I wrote this story and it won a short story contest. But it was a short story contest among engineers at the school, so I'm not saying that made it easier, but there was a short story contest, and I won, and I wouldn't let her read it just because I was like, it's not very good. I'm going to write a better one. I'm going to write short stories for a living, and I'll just write tons. This one is really bad, and I never wrote another short story again. But so she never got to read it.
I bet it's a great read. Is this among the software engineers or mechanical engineers? What kind of engineers?
All the engineers at Berkeley, yeah.
Very cool. My brother's a mechanical engineer, grad student there right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
Very cool. Now, speaking of questions, Ryan.
Yes, sir.
You have a bunch of questions?
I have a ton of questions.
I have a ton of questions. You go first.
Okay,
Are you ready for some questions, Tim?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, cool. Fire.
Go ahead.
This comes from Umbriel in Charlottesville, Virginia. Where do you draw your inspiration from when you are conceptualizing your unique brand of games, movies, literature, your head?
Yes, all those things. I think I really do believe in stealing things, and I think that the essence of stealing something and using it involves not just stealing the superficial aspects of it. Like I saw a horror movie, now I want to make a horror game, but kind of getting into deconstructing it. What are the essential things you really like about it? And then they're really just these abstract concepts. Like a horror movie, for me, has to do with a lot of being surprised, and just and then you can kind of work that into the thing you're doing, and it's not as much of a rip-off as really just kind of understanding what makes something work and then applying it to your own thing. But definitely a lot of movies have influenced what we do, and a lot of other games and personal experiences. Yeah, my head.
I don't know.
Perfect.
I got another one. You got one?
You go.
Okay, this is from Joel Husley. Covington, Louisiana. Oh, I don't know if that sounds right.
Sure.
There was a recent quote that graphics have killed. Oh, this is the funny one, right? We were talking about this before. We were talking about that we saw this question come in earlier. There was this recent quote that the graphics have killed the adventure game genre. As someone who created some of the best action adventure games ever, Grim Fandango, Full Throttle, etc., do you think the increasing demands for better graphics like the first-person shooters genre have contributed to the smaller selection of quality adventure games?
Well, people ask a lot of whatever happened to adventure games, and I just don't think I don't think the strict definition of a genre is that important to what you're doing, because is it that you loved adventure games, just that definition, or did you just love a good game you played once, And if you loved it, even if you loved it, would you want to play that same game again? No. So you'd want to play the evolution of that, and maybe just some of those ideas turned upside down and changed and played. So I don't think it's that interesting to talk about specific genres and whether they lived or died, and because it wasn't that I really wanted to make a certain genre of game. I just wanted to make a great game, and make games that were immersive. And adventure games are a great way to do that, because they really are about creating a world that the player can fall into if they're done well, and they have real characters and stories, and you can just get lost in them and kind of feel like you want to go home and play it again, just to be in that world again and hear the music and be in that place. And adventure games are great for that, but you can do that with any kind of game, and it has more to do with what kind of experience you want to create, and that might lend itself to a certain kind of genre. And I think you can do any genre of game. You can do it well, or you can do it badly. And so to say I like this genre and this genre is not as important as, I like that genre if it's done well. I like a good game.
What are you playing right now, if you don't mind me asking?
What am I playing right now? I was in crunch mode for a long time, so I wasn't playing a lot of anything. I was right in the middle of Slide 2 when the crunch mode really got really, really bad, so that's still sitting there. I did just finish Katamari Damacy.
Nice.
That was a very satisfying ending when I was rolling that ship around. And
thinking of Godzilla.
And when I rolled up Godzilla, I was running out of time, and I really shouldn't have gone for him, but that was so important to roll up Godzilla. It was such an emotional victory at that point. But that's a brilliant game. It's a lot of fun to play.
Another thing we talked about, actually, before we get on to more questions, I think it was with one of the animators that we interviewed. Is it Chris Schultz? Was that his name?
Did he have a really nice suit on and a tie?
Very nice suit.
That's Chris Schultz.
And we were talking with him. He said how a great game. One of the good aspects is a nice. You can get lost in the world. And he was talking about how all the campers in the game, they all have these tremendous backstories that you fleshed out. Now in the game Psychonauts, how much of these backstories do we get to learn? Would you say?
Well, the idea is that all the kids, every character in the game has their own life that's, you don't want to just have them have what you show on the screen. You want them all to have a depth to them that you don't show also. So you get to experience all the kids, and you get a taste of all of their personalities, and you don't get to necessarily find out all their histories, even though I kind of, we figured out what their history was. You get to just kind of get a taste of each one and a hint that there's more. Some of the characters, when you can actually go into their heads, and that's what the Psychonauts is all about, right? Is jumping into someone's head, and you can, if you're interested in that, and you don't play through really quick, but if you kind of hang out in that world for a while, you can actually find their memories. I mean, the collectible in the game is these figments, and you can kind of see those little images, which are these little 2D doodles that are in the world, and you can kind of piece those together, and then you can look at them together, and they kind of tell you a little bit about the backstory of the character, because it shows little moments from their little figments of their memories. But then you can also find memory vaults and punch them open, and they put up this little show for you, and you see this little comic strip about that Scott did about the life of the characters. So you can kind of see their really powerful memories from their past that made them who they are. So like that crazy characters, you can see what made them crazy.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. We tried talking about that last time, and I was like, "What was the toy that those reminded me of, the memory vaults?" And you're like, "It's better not that we just won't mention it." It looks really cool. Ryan, more questions?
Dude, I got so many questions.
I have some questions too.
You want to go?
I'll go. All right, Chris Peterson, Seattle, Washington. In Psychonauts, can the player pick and choose the order to which they play the levels, and will there be the ability or incentive to revisit them?
Well, let me tell you, Chris. Should you say? Chris?
Yes, Chris Peterson.
It's a mix of the levels at first go into strict progression, not strict, but there's a progression that opens up so you can experience these 3 levels, and any order you want and jump between them. And that was kind of important. It's important to give choice like that, but also not give you too much choice at the very, very beginning of the game, so it is a lot more controlled in the beginning.
I remember that in the demo that we played last time we were here, there was like that, was it like psychic web or whatever?
The mental cobwebs.
The mental cobwebs, yes. And the first time you come to one in Coach Oleander's brain, you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Because you lack the ability, so that would be a case where you could revisit the level.
Yeah, you can go back if you really want to get everything, and you can go back to that first level and pull the mental cobwebs, and then you see something that you normally wouldn't see, and you actually learn one of his secrets, which is important to the story. And the levels are we put a lot of work into making them all revisitable. So if you finish them, you can come back, and sometimes there's characters just hanging out going, what are you doing back here? You know, and sometimes there's important stuff going on that's an important clue. And sometimes it's just about just wanting to go back in that world and collect everything and get everything and see it all. And because replay value, I think, is one of the strengths of the game, too, because you can go through, like, say, the campgrounds. There's these 20 camp kids, and at any given time, some of them are hanging out in the parking lot, some of them are over by the cabins, and you can go and you can overhear their conversation or you can interact with them. But if you don't go to that area at that time, you'll miss it. And so you can see very little of those camp kids if you aren't interested. But if you want to see it all, you can go back and play it again and try and find out where they all are. It's a little bit like I was inspired a lot by that Last Express game, the Jordan Merchant game. There's this train trip, and if you're in the wrong car at the wrong time, you'll miss this important conversation. And then the train lands, and you can go back and you can play it again and try and catch it all if you want.
Nice. Ryan?
I'm sorry I keep on looking down at this, but there's so many good questions coming in. And like I'm going to summarize some of them because like I can tell you that there's two popular topics. One is independent game development. Independent game development. How does that working out? Is it hard? The other kind of generalization was like a lot of people asking about 4 to 5 years you've been working on this game now, right? Has this been like a long, is this like your dream project? Some people were comparing. David Joffrey was here a couple weeks ago talking about his game.
Jaffe.
Sorry, Jaffe.
He yelled at me for getting it wrong so many times.
Talking about that was his dream game that he'd been working on for quite some time. It sounds like this is kind of like pretty close to your heart.
I mean, it was definitely a labor of love, I think, for me and the whole team because it was not easy to do, and we never gave up on it. So I think that's why it turned out as well as it did. I mean, it was a long trip, and we kept working on it the whole time, and so I think there's a lot of denseness, there's a lot of richness to the game because of that, But definitely being an independent developer is something you can only do if it is a labor of love for you, because it's not the easiest way to make money in the industry, and it's not the fastest way to make it, and it's not the best for your health, but it's definitely the most rewarding, and it's the only way to do it for me. I mean, you get to do more interesting stuff. I think you get to do more original stuff, and you take on a lot of risks because of that, but that's what makes it worthwhile, I think.
Right on.
Was there ever a point where you maybe questioned a little bit, where you were worried there was a period where you didn't have a publisher because a certain other company didn't want to make your game anymore? But was there ever a point where you were worried, or did you have the faith that since it's going to be a great game, it'll get made? Or
well, there's faith in the. We love the game. I mean, I love the game. I love the idea for it, and I thought I was like, the world's got to see this game, But and there's also just the blind determination to make it happen. I mean, everyone on the team is very, they're very stubborn individuals. They don't like to, they're not comfortable. I think taking defeat would not have been that. We didn't really accept the option of not letting it happen,
Well, that's the way to do it, right?
Yeah, it's totally the way to do it. Yeah.
The world shall love my game.
More questions, Ryan?
Let's go one more.
One more? Okay, I have actually two over here.
I've got a bunch still.
All right, I'll ask two, you ask one.
Okay.
All right, we got to let our man Scarecrow Mark Townsend ask a question because he keeps bringing them. From the videos I've seen, the voice acting in Psychonauts seems of really high quality. Are there any known voice actors in the game that we'd recognize?
There are a lot of known actors if you know your stuff. Our philosophy has always been to use the best actors and really talented, versatile voice actors, which are getting to work with them down in LA. They're really creative and they're really great. And there are a lot of companies that want you to kind of swap in a name, like a very famous celebrity kind of voice who just, and you've all seen like badly dubbed Japanese cartoons or something that just had that famous person showed in, and you're like, what is that terrible voice? It's like, oh, it's that guy in the front of the box. Oh, why they? And it's the wrong decision to make, I think, because we use like our main character is voiced by Richard Horowitz, who did the voice of Invader Zim, which it's a really great cartoon, and he's really talented, really funny guy, and he brings Raz to life like no one else could. And we have this character Shigor in the game, who's like this Igor, but that's a girl, Shigor, and she's her voice is done by Tara Strong, who does the Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, wow.
And these people are just really talented. They just come and they see the script the first time, they read it through, and you talk it through, and you practice a couple times, and they just nail it. And they're so fun to work with. And Nick Jameson, who if you played any LucasArts games in the past, he's the voice of various tentacles and people that we've had in all those great games.
So you totally got celebrities now.
Yeah,
those are celebrities, but they're not the. Those are celebrities, yes, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Our in-house music talent, the Bass Kittens, by the way, did some music for Invader Zim as well.
Really?
Yeah, so we got a project in common.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, speaking of LucasArts, this is my last question. I have here Nathan in Calgary. Does LucasArts own the rights to Grim Fandango? If not, can we hope for a sequel sometime in the future?
Good question.
Wait, do they own the rights? And if not,
will there be a sequel?
They do own the rights. And so I would hope there's not a sequel, because that would mean I don't get to make it,
right?
And someone else would, and then I'd have to curse them, like I've done in the past, and then they'll die, which is really unfortunate for them. I mean, I'm not saying I want them to die. I'm just saying
part of the biz.
Curses happen, bad things happen all the time to good people.
Cool, Ryan. Shall we?
Yeah, let's
cool, sweet. We're gonna bring Zach back in just a moment, and we'll be asking even more questions. This has been a great question show.
It's been a good question.
Is this what E3 is gonna be like? We're just gonna be taking millions of questions and firing them up. I hope so.
Yeah,
very highbrow.
We show some games off too, you know.
Yeah, so good stuff. But right now, though, it was recently revealed. I don't know if you heard, but this little portable device we've had on the show a couple times, it's called the PSP. It came out last week, and the hackers have already figured out how you can surf the web.
Are you gonna show
with
me
your PSP? Using the game Wipeout Pure. I'm not going to show you.
You're not going to show me?
I mean, Kirk Collins is going to show you.
Excellent.
Right now.
Hey folks, I'm Kirk Collins with GameSpot. I'm sure many of you have heard rumors about a simple hack that lets you surf the web on a PSP. Well, it's true. There's a web surfing hack for the PSP, and yes, it does work. So how can you do it at home? Well, first you're going to need a PlayStation Portable. You're also going to need a Wi-Fi internet connection and a copy of Wipeout Pure. Once you have those things in hand, this is what you're going to need to do. First, start up your PSP, and in the home menu, go to the settings option and select network setup. Once you're there, select infrastructure mode and create a new connection. Give your new connection a name. It can be anything. When you're done there, go to the next screen by pressing right on the D-pad. Once you're in the next screen, highlight and select scan. This will now make the PSP scan for any available Wi-Fi connections in your area. From the connection list, select the Wi-Fi connection you wish to use. You'll then be bumped back into the previous screen. Again, press right on the D-pad and you'll be in the address settings submenu. Here you need to highlight and select Custom. When you're done, you should be in the IP address settings submenu. Here, highlight Automatic and press right on the D-pad. In the DNS setting, highlight Manual and press right on the D-pad. Now enter a primary DNS number as a specific server. Now this DNS number is important because this is where your PSP will do domain name lookups for URLs. Therefore, it should be something you set up locally on a PC and router on the Wi-Fi network. Or you can also do a search on the internet for domain name servers that people have already set up for the PSP browser. Once you entered the numbers, hit right on the D-pad, choose Do Not Use Proxy Server unless you need to use one. Hit right on the D-pad again and confirm all your settings. Hit right one more time on the D-pad and save your settings. Now start up Wipeout Pure and go to download. That's it. You should now be able to surf the World Wide Web on your PSP.
And we are back, and I cannot wait to try that out. I have Wipeout Pure. I'm going to get online I'm gonna do all kinds of crazy internet stuff with my PSP.
Right on.
Ryan, you heard of some other crazy stuff you can do with the PSP.
I did. It's something I actually wanted to show today, but I didn't. Between all the craziness of everything, I didn't get a chance to show it.
By the way, we've been specifically requested to stop using the word crazy on the show.
Okay, really?
We can't use the word crazy
no more.
anymore. I can't say cool anymore, and you can't say crazy anymore.
All right, with all the lunacy.
Perfect.
All the lunacy happening
that.
around here, I decided that, I didn't decide anything. I just didn't have time to do this. But anyways, cutting to the chase, there's this thing called Pocket Mac with the PSP. I guess they had it. It was a thing that you could do for like other portable devices. This thing, just so people knows, this Pocket Mac thing allows you to put like PDA functionalities on your PSP, like right now. Like you can do it today.
Really?
Apparently for $9, you can go to their website and download this thing.
Obviously $9.
Yeah, totally. Huh?
Yeah.
And check it out. I haven't checked it out yet, so I'm not saying it's good or anything. I just letting people know it's out there. I'm going to try it out, and then next week on the show we'll show it off.
Consider it a challenge to the hacker community to keep topping that and make it available for less. Welcoming Zach back to the show. How's it going, Zach?
Excellent.
You enjoyed the green room?
Absolutely.
It's so nice back there.
Oh, it's slick.
It's great. And now we have all of us here, and we're just going to keep firing your questions. GameSpot complete members, keep sending them in. Ryan, do you have a big stack of them?
I got a bunch of them, and if you guys don't mind, we talk a little PSP for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys go out last week and get some?
I don't have mine yet.
You don't
I don't have mine either.
Really?
No.
All right, so
I'm letting everyone buy them first, and
You
then I get to
should.
play with them for a while.
one of the questions. Oh, there's money apparently in
There's
here
money
too.
coming out.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Some
You had some
come
left
with
over. It
that?
must have been
I was just thinking about
less
it.
expensive than I heard.
I was actually getting the shoe mitt because one of the questions comes in from Bobby Oler in Gaithburg. I guess what's Maryland? Yeah, it's Maryland.
Yeah, medical doctor.
Thank you, sir. Bobby says that I just got my PSP and I love it, but one problem with it is the screen smudges, gets really dirty very easily, which is totally true. You realize that once you start touching a PSP, you are like incredibly oily.
Oh, yeah.
Wash your hands, Bobby.
The cloth that comes with this PSP isn't taking away the majority of the crud on my screen. How would we suggest that I clean it? I wouldn't suggest nothing, because I'll tell you one little horror story that I had. So Ricardo at this hotel we were at, he like called me up on the phone. He's like, go in the bathroom right now and get the shoe mitt. It's perfect for the PSP. And it's pretty good, but the one thing that was kind of a bummer was on my shoe mitt apparently, there was some form of foreign object.
Yeah.
So when I went to go clean it off, it was like, eat. And I was like, oh, and like, 2 big scratches. But if there's...
Can I ask what a shoe mitt is?
Apparently, like, they have them at like the hotel. And
That's a puppet.
You put your hand in it, and you like clean your shoes or something, shoe mitt, you know?
Mm-hmm. What about the cloth that comes with the PSP?
Oh, he said right here, Bobby says it doesn't
work?
It says it doesn't work very good. But yeah,
It's tough. To be honest, I think from what we can tell from the dead pixel thing and from cleaning things, I think we're all just going to have to accept that one of the side effects of having such a gorgeous screen on the PSP is the upkeep for it is going to be tough.
And the dead pixel thing, I don't know how familiar you guys are with screens like that. It's not just the PSP, right?
No.
It's anything. Anything's got a screen like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
My Atari Lynx had dead pixels.
I get you too.
Yeah.
Every time.
If it's dirty, you can just fully immerse it in soapy water, right?
Yeah.
Can't you?
Make sure it's on.
Yeah,
as well.
and you're holding it.
And then you put it in the microwave. And then, don't do that. Ryan, let's get some questions fired, shall we?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You got some more? You want me to go?
No, you.
Okay, this is coming from Kenny Wilson. He's in Tustin, California. He wants to know, with web browsing for the PSP, can you view everything like GameSpot, or can you stream videos? Can you go in a chat room, forums?
So here's the thing right now that I know of so far is that I'm pretty sure that the PSP has nothing built into it that can handle Flash. I don't think it can handle Java completely. Gotcha. I don't think it can handle, there's like, Windows Media Player isn't on there.
Because right now this thing's just straight a hack job, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So I'm sure, like right now, basically the way you're getting online right now is by you're using the download utility that is built into Wipeout Pure to surf the web. So when will they make, I gotta assume someone's gonna figure out how to put Flash on the PSP, someone's gonna figure out how to put all this crazy stuff on it, so wait for that.
Sony even probably.
And they'll charge you $20 for it, I'm sure, and then you wait for the other dude to make it for free and use that one, go on download.com, hook you up.
So, but it's kind of hard that we're talking about the PSP since you guys don't have them, right?
Let's ask them about their games.
All right, totally.
Yeah, sure. You got some Area 51 questions right there I just handed you?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I do, actually.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
I gave them to you.
This comes from...
Did you lose?
Oh, yeah, this is right. This comes from Alex, and we actually kind of covered this, though. Alex wants to ask, he's from Brooklyn Park, by the way. He wants to know, what kind of modes will Area 51 have for online play?
Yeah, okay. So we talked about deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture the flag, capture and hold, which is kind of like Battlefield, and infection. Those are our game modes.
Right on.
Cool. And maybe when we always like playing games online here, maybe when it hits retail, we'll play some Infection online on the show.
That'd be totally awesome.
That'd be good.
Get you online.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
If we're not at Area 51,
at each other.
Yeah, totally.
If you're not actually at Area 51.
Or maybe we'll play from
that's
there.
right.
Yeah.
That'd be even awesome.
After, yeah.
You can battle us live from Area 51.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I have a question for Tim. John Munoz in Corpus Christi, Texas. In the small clip we've seen before, the main character of Psychonauts is in training. However, what is the main story of the game, and how does it progress?
You start off training at a summer camp for psychic children, which is a normal psychic summer camp in
Obviously.
every way. Yeah, except for one by one the kids start disappearing, and there's these legends of a monster that lives in the lake and comes out and eats kids' brains at night, and may or may not be true, but the story starts to progress along those lines that Raz has to do something about it. Yeah.
Nice.
I got a good question here, and this is a tricky question, so hopefully it won't get anybody in trouble. It's gonna put you guys on the spot. This is from Chris in San Jose. He wants to know, not to steal thunder from your guys' upcoming releases, do you guys have any thoughts on developing for next-gen consoles?
Wow. Just that they're going to get bigger and harder to make, you know. Big teams, big budgets, you know, it's gonna get crazy. But exciting at the same time. I mean, you know, just as the technology progresses, it's going to be more interesting and a longer and harder process.
Tim?
I still think that you know, the biggest thing is the ideas that we're going to have. I mean, we could be, you know, there could be a great game that we're doing right now with the current technology. You know, so I still think the new technology won't bring about as much as I wish there was a new generation of just creativity and stuff going into it too.
Content.
Yeah.
If you look at those independent gamer awards that went out during GDC, those are some guys just like throwing stuff together on their computers at home, and those games are a lot of fun and they show a lot of promise. So yeah, as you're saying, you don't need, although these new boxes are probably gonna be a lot of fun, you don't necessarily need to make a great game. I have another question for both of you. It's from Sean Davis in Fairbanks. No state. We're going to say it's Fairbanks, Alaska.
There you go.
Why not? Are there any specific classes, majors, or jobs that can help someone become a game developer? Zach?
You know, I tend to believe that, you know, coming to the game industry with different backgrounds is really helpful or healthy, I think, for the industry. You know, with a medical background or an English background or a history background, you bring those things to the table, and you know. So I don't think there's really one thing, unless you want to be like an artist or a programmer. You know, obviously take classes in that area, but on the production side, at least, I think you know, any of the disciplines are, you know, bring something unique.
Great.
Yeah, like I majored in computer science, and that was definitely the degree that helped me get my first job. But it was the classes I took outside of my major, the English classes, the psychology classes, and the anthropology classes that I use in game design more. So you really have to have a well-rounded background, I think, to do a.
I think one of the interviews we have with you, you talk about Freud a little bit, and you don't learn that in software engineering, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
No?
I mean, yeah.
Right.
More questions, Ryan?
Yeah, I got two I'd like to clear up. This one comes from Josh in British Columbia. He wants to know two clarifications. One, that thing I was talking about, it's a software program that Mac users can use to get the PDA functionality of PSP. And this thing is a piece of cloth. It's a piece of cloth, call it a shoe mitt that I use to wipe off my screen, that's all.
You are obsessed with the PSP.
Yeah, sorry.
No. I don't know what a shoe mitt is. I mean, it's a valid question.
Apparently, sorry, I didn't know that it was a hard
That's
one.
part of like hotel culture that
This is a question for you.
Okay.
Sorry. Tim Teets wants to know who won the contest from the PSP stuff.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
And I was going to come up to that in a little bit. As you may notice, all these pieces of paper in my hand, they're all questions. I do not have the winners yet.
What are you doing?
Here's what I'm doing. I'm driving traffic right now.
Oh, what?
As you may or may not know, GameSpot.com right now has a union functionality entered into the community. All these people making these great fan pages. GameSpot Live has a union. Tomorrow on the GameSpot Live union page, we'll be announcing the winners for last week's show, where we gave all those great PSP games, all those great memory sticks.
How do they find the union?
You can find it a couple ways. You can run a search for the unions through just using the standard search tool. You can run a search for GameSpot Live, or you can go up to the unions menu and bust it down. It's under Games Fan Clubs, I think.
Right on.
And you just find it. And also, as a special treat, we had closed membership on the GameSpot Live union before, so we could get it up and looking nice. Now that it is up and looking nice, it is open to everybody. So if you want to join the GameSpot Live union, if you're a fan of GameSpot Live, and that is, of course, the portion of GameSpot which makes all the movies, log on, hop in, join up, and soon you'll be our street army, and we will rule the world together, I guess.
Right on. That's awesome.
I think it
sounds great.
Yeah, so yeah.
We can bring them down there if we want, right?
Yeah, exactly. They will be open. Just give them all cameras.
We'll drive right through.
Yeah.
Demand to
And
know
we'll
what's
give
up.
everyone a camera. We'll show up like 300 cameramen. One of them's got to get through.
I got a good question here from Rob Norville in York. This comes from the United Kingdom, actually. He wants to know if you could have any license, which license would you like to make a game based on? Any. He says any, so I think that means movie, book, whatever.
Oh, well, that's a tricky question, because working with someone else's license is something I've never done or been able to do. I think it requires a special skill. I don't know if I'd be that good at it, So I would love to get back some of my old ones, but that would be. Other than that, it would be. It's easier for certain people to just make stuff up from scratch, because it's very challenging to actually work with someone else's stuff.
Zach, do you have a license that you would want to grab?
Wow. I'm actually a big fan of Shadowrun.
Nice.
Remember way back
that game was so good.
The Super Nintendo
They haven't done one since then.
With the talking
exactly.
dog.
That's one of my favorite games of all time.
What did you think of the Sega Genesis one?
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Not the same. Not the same thing. So I'd probably do something with that.
That's cool.
I eBayed that game a couple years ago.
Did you?
That guy I just thought.
I still have mine.
Yeah.
I probably played that game like 30 times all the way through.
Nice.
Love it.
It's a great game. That cyberpunk era, good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out of questions.
I think we're about to end the
We're
show.
out of questions.
Totally.
Are we going to see you guys down in E3? You going to be hanging out?
Absolutely.
Down there?
Oh yeah,
Alright, cool.
I'll be down there.
And we'll bring you by again.
Yeah.
sure.
Do we get free 8 PSPs now? I heard a lot of giving away of PSPs.
That's a Ricardo question.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just talk. You get free
Where's
questions
the,
from us, and maybe some witty banner. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming by, guys.
Thanks
for having us.
Thanks
Good time.
a lot.
Absolutely.
Anytime.
My hands a little sweaty, but anyways,
very
Ryan,
much.
good show.
Yeah, totally.
And I guess, can we say what's going on next week?
Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
Can we say what's going on next week, or should we just wait and let it be a surprise?
I guess you could, you kind of, no, wait and let it be.
We'll wait and let it be a surprise. As you can tell, we're going to have all kinds of guests all the way leading up to E3 to get you ready for our crazy stage shows, where we will just be talking to every single person that works in the industry, picking their brains about games, and reading your questions. So if you got questions for anybody, start sending them now. GameSpot Complete members. That's a good show, right? We're good?
Yeah, totally.
Right, cool. So for Tim and Zach, thanks for stopping by, guys, once again. For Ryan, for all the crew who does so well. Ricardo for setting up all this show as he always does. It's been a great show, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time right here on The Spot.